When I made the first video of my breakdown of the COVID measures update email that was sent to Horizon School Division students, the parents, I got the response that I was hoping for, which was people saying, hey, thanks, that helped out. It's a lot to read, it's a lot to run over and go over for each and every parent, which I totally understand. So I just broke down Wilco Tymonson, the superintendent of Horizon School Division's letter to parents. But I did want to do a second part. This second part is the one that I was most interested in piecing through. This was the Alberta government's 2021-22 school year plan. And that's what I'm going to break down for you next. So I decided to do this video outside, even though I live on 50th Street, which if you live in Tabor or have lived in Tabor before, you know is the busiest and noisiest street in all of town. So I'm sorry for that, but I like the smell of rain and I like the atmosphere, and there's not a lot of people about. People are staying indoors. I'm kind of a quiet, silence kind of guy, but you will hear the occasional engine go by because that's where I live. This is the 2021-22 school year plan I'll be breaking down. It's by the Alberta government. Okay, they do your school plans, and they have for a very long time, which I think we let them get away with, and it shouldn't have happened. But it did. We're there. One thing I want to talk about with this first is that vaccines are mentioned consistently throughout the first 8 pages of this booklet, like constantly, at least once every page. They spend pages 4 to 8 hammering home the message that vaccines and their amazing effectiveness are the reason we are making a safe return to school. And I mean, that's me paraphrasing, but that's what they say. This is Propaganda 101. You keep repeating the message and hammer it home over and over and over again. Vaccines, vaccines, vaccines. That's why you can go back to school. That's why your kids can have these freedoms. That's why these things can happen. They're hammering home that message. Because this isn't the only place you get the vaccines message, right? They're delivering it in our friggin' mail. We had mail coming in. It was a pull-out that you pulled out, and it was a needle with a picture of like your wedding and a family gathering and a dinner or whatever else, saying, oh, you can have these back once you get this needle. Guys, that's wrong. It's disgusting, frankly. Anyways, this is what this is too. It's Propaganda 101. They fill your head with it for the first 8 fucking pages. This is Propaganda 101. They keep repeating the intended message over and over till it becomes the automatic response answer of people who wonder why good things happened, right? So, oh well, why were we allowed to have school again? Why were we allowed to have Cornfest again? Why were we allowed to have these things again? Because vaccinations, guys. They're hammering it home to you. But guess what? It's not true. It's not true. The vaccinated are getting sicker when they get COVID, and plenty of them are dying. And they're not very honest about the death numbers, are they? Have you heard any death numbers? Unless you've actually really looked for them. That's what I thought. The next thing that I want to mention is Dina Hinshaw. Okay, she is mentioned once again in a couple different sections in here, and it's just praising her as the Chief Medical Officer of Health and all this great work she's doing. She has so much power, guys. It's scary. If you read through this stuff like I have, she has power to shut down the schools, do whatever she wants, basically. Really, she does. Anyways, what it says here, it first mentions her implementation of the 2021-22 school year plan is subject to change with direction from the Chief Medical Officer of Health, which means she can take it away, give it back, do whatever she wants. She has the power, guys. She is now your premier. That's basically how it is. She really is. On this other page, a direct quote from Adriana Lagrange, the Minister of Education of Alberta. Thanks to the power of vaccines, another vaccine mention, I'm pleased that students can return to a normal school year in September. The safety of students and staff remains our number one priority, and we have a detailed plan that includes contingency scenarios for continuing student learning if there is a significant change in the COVID-19 situation. So if there's a change in the situation, guys, cases go up, be prepared. They have plans for that, by the way, contingency plans. That's what she's talking about. We will continue to follow the expert advice of Alberta's Chief Medical Officer of Health, who has a public health degree, okay? She's not a surgeon, a brain surgeon. She has a public health degree, which is not really medicine at all. It's pharmaceuticals and it's mental therapy. It's not medicine. It's not real medicine. And are ready to make changes if needed. Ready to make changes if needed, guys. Prepare yourselves. Another thing I found very interesting, once again, like in Wilco Tymonson's letter, is how this is treated like the flu now, the respiratory illness. It's now all of a sudden they're acting like they were always on board with calling this a flu-like virus. No, they weren't, guys. They were locking up pastors and priests over this, remember? Is that how you treat a flu virus, guys? Is that how you treat a flu virus? You lock up pastors and priests for holding church sessions? You chain up churches like Whistle Stop Cafe, shutting down these restaurants from running for a flu-like virus. Now they're admitting, oh yeah, it's a flu-like virus. It's a respiratory illness. I thought it was a pandemic, guys. They're telling you now that they knew they were full of shit. We were telling you they were full of shit a long time ago, and a lot of us were probably on board with that. We have to fight back, guys, and this is just confirming that for me. Now it says here, routine best practices to reduce the risk of transmission of COVID-19 and other respiratory illnesses, including influenza, will continue to include promoting and facilitating hand hygiene and respiratory etiquette, staying home when sick, maintaining ventilation, and ensuring regular cleaning and disinfection of high-traffic touch areas. Did we need reminders about that? Those are all decent things. I have no complaints about any of those things, like most of us don't, other than using hand sanitizer and all that too much. It's not good. Other than that, no one has any complaints, right? We were okay with that. Why'd you need the quarantines and locking people up and taking people away from their kids, like my cousin Becky, under quarantine orders because they flew? Because for a flu-like virus? Because he flew from the United States up to here? Give me a break. Now they're acting like they always knew, guys. They always knew, but they weren't always on board, were they? Now they're sure acting like they were. Additional measures may be considered or recommended if a school experiences a COVID-19 outbreak. So yeah, if there's an outbreak, expect things to change. That's what they're saying. Examples of these outbreak measures include active health screening with questionnaires, increasing frequency of cleaning and disinfection, maintaining classroom cohorts, I'm not sure what that is, mask recommendations, and or limiting extracurricular activities. Like they did last time. Take away the sports, take away the activities, take away the things that are fun for kids, and force them to sit in the classroom with masks on. Give me a break. AHS will continue to manage outbreaks of respiratory illnesses in school settings, similar to the management of influenza or influenza-like illness. Really, like we were saying a year and a half ago, and you were saying, it's not the flu, it's not the flu. Am I a scientist, guys? No, but I knew that a year and a half ago, and many of us did, didn't we? The government has been lying, and they are betraying us, guys. They're turning their backs on us and stabbing us in the back, and they're trying to mess up our kids, and that's where we should be really concerned. AHS zone medical officers of health and public health teams will continue to be a resource for and collaborate with school authorities / school administration to address any local issues. You happy with that? I'm not. I have stepkids in there now, in these schools. I'm not happy with this at all, and I plan to do something. Do you? I could use your help. Brief section on First Nations I want to touch on, and I'm going to be careful of this, but it goes into approximately 48,000 self-identified First Nations, Métis, and Inuit students, including approximately 7,000 First Nations students living on reserve, learn within the provincial education system, blah, blah, blah. And then how they have to reach out to them. Yeah, fine and dandy. Of course they do. Specific supports may vary from region to region and will vary for their unique cultural needs between First Nations, Métis, and Inuit students. A flexible approach may be needed to accommodate these students depending on local safety decisions made by First Nations chief and councils. Provincial school authorities should ensure discussions with First Nations, Métis, and Inuit students, parents, and officials occur early and consider all aspects of the 2021-22 school year plan. So they need special accommodations and treatments. Like yes, if you're reaching the far Inuit nations and stuff, I can understand, yeah, because it's difficult to get the same kinds of things we have down here. I get that. But that's how they're helping to end the supposed bad treatment of the First Nations? Why not let them just be normal kids? Why not just treat them like normal kids and stop saying, oh, the First Nations kids here, we have to treat them different? No, let them blend in, be normal kids naturally. That's what kids do. I went to school with First Nations kids. All of us did in Tabor. Most of them blended in and became good people and became our friends, just like normal. Kids don't judge based on that kind of crap. This is the government telling them that they judge based on that crap before they've even learned to judge that crap. Serious. This page 9 just goes back into exams back to normal. Diploma exams will continue to constitute 30% of the final course mark, like usual. Grade 6 and 9 will have provincial achievement tests. They resume as per usual. There's a section here I wanted to get to on new curriculum, where it says, this is on page 9, under grade 6 and 9 provincial achievement tests. Participation is mandatory, except in schools that are piloting the new draft kindergarten to grade 6 curriculum. What's this new draft? Can anybody link me to this? What's this new draft? If there's some link of it that I can print off or something, that would be very helpful, and I'll break that down as well, because that's something I want to know for my own kids. They're in kindergarten to grade 6. I want to know if we're implementing this program. Any information would be helpful. Pages 10 to 12 basically just offer government-operated websites and resources for parents to use as guidance. It's government, government, government. The all-powerful, all-knowing government. You want answers? Go to the government. You want these? Go to the government. You want these? Go to the government. That's what it is, guys. It's called control. We are in scary times right now, but it's time to wake up and say, let go. We don't want your control. We'll find a way without you. Thank you. That's what we're trying to institute right now, and we're working on things. We're working on a better system and a better life for all of us. Hopefully we can get there together. Next up is the contingency plans they were talking about. Okay, this is in case of things, right? In case of COVID, and the Alberta government says you have in-classroom learning, but it's restricted. Then there's another one for if it's, the Alberta government says no in-school classes. They're suspended or canceled. Okay, it goes into both scenarios. It does that for the school calendar year, and then it goes into that for the grade 12 diplomas. Basically, it's just like it was last time. It's just like it was last time. Near normal, if it's in school classes, near normal with enhanced health measures, so mask wearing, social distancing, whatever they want to implement. They're saying, oh, it's like the flu. It's like the flu. We're just gonna treat it like the flu. If there's a little outbreak, then we'll have people clean things and wash things and be more careful with hygiene and all that stuff, and that's perfectly fine, right? But then if it's something where they figure school classes should be suspended or canceled, that's where it's like the school authorities offer at-home learning opportunities to children and students based on the provincial or regional context. In the event of a resurgency of COVID-19, right? Local school authorities have the ability to move portions of the school to at-home learning or the entire thing if they petition this AHS field services. They can petition them, the AHS field services, to get the entire school year shifted to at-home learning. You got time to go home, take time off from your jobs. You got the wife or husband at home taking care of things that can just do this kind of teaching? Or are you like us and like most people, where you have both people working, both people trying to pay rent, both people trying to pay bills? How is your kid going to do at-home learning? Oh, there's another cost for you, because now you have to pay for daycare. Now you have to pay for whatever else to watch your kid, some babysitter to come watch your kid, or you have to take time off work to come watch your kid. This is bullshit, guys. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. And it's the same thing as last time. They can cancel schools whenever the hell they want, do whatever the hell they want. Pardon my French, but this shit pisses me off. This is bullshit, guys. And let me tell you, this is an abomination. This is an abomination to the kids going to school. This is an absolute assault on their educations. It's incredibly destructive to their educations, their social lives, their mental health and well-being, and we cannot let this happen again. We cannot. Alberta Health Services is not God. They are not the government. They are the government, but they are not our rulers. They are not our kings. Stand with us. Stand together. Let's do something about this, guys. Any questions about this, let me know. But I broke it down as best as I could for you. I hope it helped.